Laura had spent years yearning to launch her own business and break free from living paycheck to paycheck. But for the past 17 years of marriage, her dreams had been put on hold. With kids popping into the world like clockwork, Laura found herself sidelined from pursuing a career. Now, with her eldest, Nicholas, just turning 15, and her youngest daughter, Lily, at 3, Laura felt a flicker of hope. Daycare for Lily seemed like the key to returning to work. Unfortunately, Lily's frequent illnesses meant daycare was only an option once a week, leaving Laura scrambling when the inevitable sniffles and fevers struck. Financial strain and exhaustion gnawed at Laura, often sparking arguments with her husband, Mike. "Mike," Laura would say, frustration lacing her voice, "is spending every weekend sprawled on the couch really the best use of your time? We could be earning some extra income for the family. I'd be happy to pick up a part-time gig on weekends if you could watch the kids, but your help seems non-existent." "Laura," Mike would counter, weary from his long weeks as a locksmith, "don't I deserve some downtime? Isn't one income enough for this family?" There was something unspoken on his mind, something he wanted to tell her. "You've been working part-time at the gym for a year now," he began. "Nick and the boys have been plastering flyers all over town like you asked. Don't we have enough, honey? We're not living on the streets, thank goodness. We seem to have everything we need." Laura scoffed. "Do you think I'm pulling in a fortune at the gym? Nick's sneakers are falling apart, and winter's coming. We need new ones before then. And remember how Victor's been begging for a new phone for ages? His classmates give him a hard time about his old one. Lily gets sick every other month, and the medical bills are piling up. Don't forget Sarah and Emily, they need clothes and food too." "Laura, come on," Mike pleaded. "I bring home a paycheck, don't I? Most of it goes straight to you. I keep just a little for myself. What's the problem? Look around. This is how most people live." "But I don't want to just live," Laura shot back. "I want to be comfortable, not have to count every penny. What happened to your ambition? Weekends are wasted lounging around, glued to the TV with a beer in hand." Laura was at her wit's end. She never shied away from extra work. Anything from painting houses to cleaning apartments, dog walking, watering plants, or putting up flyers. Somehow, Laura managed to juggle a clean house, childcare, and her part-time job at the gym. It was a whirlwind, fueled by the constant need for money. Even Laura's older sons, Nicholas and Victor, got pulled into the financial fray, though not always willingly. Whenever Laura scored a gig distributing flyers or putting up posters, the announcement to her sons would be the same. "Head straight home after school tomorrow. We've got a side hustle for you boys," Laura would declare. "Ugh, Mom, I don't want to stand around like a dork in the middle of town shoving flyers at people. My friends already make fun of me for it. And on top of that, you take all the money I make. It's not fair," one of the sons would groan. "Look," Laura would counter, "do you enjoy having decent food on the table and decent clothes on your back? No arguments. Tomorrow, you and Victor head to this address together. You'll be there a couple of hours, tops, and then you can come home." "Fine, but at least split the money with us this time, Mom. Otherwise, Victor and I are skipping out," the other son would bargain. "Then Victor won't get his new phone, and you won't get new winter boots." "Nicholas, that's the end of the discussion. I'm not negotiating," Laura would reply firmly. Out of earshot, the boys grumbled about their mom, but they never truly defied her. Part of it was fear of her stern demeanor, but a bigger part was understanding the immense pressure of raising 5 kids on a single income. Meanwhile, as Laura's savings grew, a question gnawed at her: how to invest this money and make it work for her family. Opening a snack bar seemed overwhelming. Finding a location, securing reliable suppliers, and affording equipment were all hurdles that could easily drain her savings. Renting a small store. The competition was fierce, and building a customer base would take a long time. Maybe cleaning services were a better option. Laura had experienced cleaning for wealthy neighbors, who always complimented her thoroughness and trustworthiness. There were only 2 cleaning companies in their town, but their prices were ridiculously high. Even well-off families avoided them, unless absolutely necessary. With each passing day, Laura's dream solidified. She didn't need to rent an office. Client meetings could happen in her apartment, maybe in the living room. Her employees could even work from there. Initially, Laura would manage the jobs herself, partnering with a couple of friends who were also looking for extra income. Just a little more saved, and their dream could become reality. Laura knew Michael wouldn't be thrilled about her plan. She suspected finding out about her hidden savings would spark a fight. Finally, with enough money saved to launch her business, Laura announced the news at dinner. "We're about to embark on a whole new chapter," she declared. "What's up, Laura? Did a rich aunt or uncle leave us a windfall?" Michael joked. "Always full of surprises, aren't you, Laura?" "Not quite. But I have been working on something for a while now. I'm excited to announce I'm opening a cleaning service. I know it can be successful." "Wait a minute. How are you funding this venture?" Michael inquired. "I've been saving," Laura confessed. "Saving? You never mentioned that. This is a shocker. Here you are, criticizing me for not working extra hours, and all along you've been squirreling away money from our paychecks. Enough to start a business?" Michael retorted. "Don't flatter yourself, Mike. Your paycheck alone wouldn't have covered it. This money is what the kids and I earned together, me, Victor, and Nicholas. We made do with what you brought in." "What's that supposed to mean? That I have no claim to this money? Hand it over. As your husband, I have a right to it. After all, in a marriage, everything acquired is considered joint property. And I've had my eye on a new motorboat for a while now." "I really need it," Michael insisted. "Don't get ahead of yourself, Mike. Your paycheck wasn't part of the savings. The money belongs to the business. We all need to make some sacrifices for a while. Once I get things off the ground, Victor can get his new phone, and there will be more money for everyone. But it won't happen overnight." "Why can't I have the phone now, Mom? I've been waiting forever," Victor chimed in. "And I want my share of the money too, Mom," Nicholas joined in. "Hold on, everyone," Michael interjected. "This is a terrible idea. We already have 2 cleaning companies in town. Why another one? Nobody uses them because they're too expensive. People aren't going to pay a fortune to have someone clean their house. It's easier to do it ourselves than pay someone half our salary to dust and mop. How would you know what people think, Mike? You've never done any cleaning yourself. I've worked in houses for wealthy families, and I know what people are willing to pay," Laura countered. "Look, Laura, this conversation isn't going anywhere. As your husband, I'm completely against this. We don't need a business. We're doing fine. We should really just split the money. How much have you saved anyway?" "Almost $30,000, Laura replied. "Wow, Lily's too young for that kind of money, and Sarah and Emily wouldn't know what to do with it. How about this? $30 for Victor's phone, another $30 for Nicholas' allowance, and we split the remaining $24,000 evenly between us. That's $12,000 each. Enough for the boat, some new fishing gear, and a few other essentials," Michael proposed. The older sons sided with their father, but Laura remained firm. "Mike, I've already said this money is going towards the business, like it or not." The tension between Laura and Michael escalated daily. Their 2 older sons, echoing their father's sentiments, demanded their share of the money. "Mom, we practically worked for you for a year handing out those flyers. Don't we deserve some of this money?" Laura initially tried reasoning with her sons, explaining it was an investment in their future. "Nicholas, Victor, I've told you this money is going towards the cleaning service. If it's successful, we won't have to worry about money ever again. We'll all be much better off, can't you see? But what if it fails, Mom? What if you lose all this money? Victor countered. Stop doubting me and your mother. I truly believe this can work. I've poured my heart and soul into this dream for years, and I'm not giving up now, Laura insisted. For a month, Laura faced daily barbs from Michael. He'd return home from work and immediately bring up the savings, often leading to explosive arguments. Finally, at her wit's end, Laura confronted Michael with anger. I can't take this anymore. I'm filing for divorce tomorrow. Instead of supporting me in escaping this financial rut, you're trying to drag me down with you. If you don't want a better life for us, that's fine. I'll manage on my own. Fine, Michael responded with a surprising lack of emotion. Just remember, in the divorce, we'll have to split everything, including the savings. Laura was surprised by his response, but met it head on. I'll give you your half without a fight. But consider this, Mike. There's no going back. Yeah, I figured that out. You've become impossible to live with lately, obsessed with this business idea, Michael retorted. I'd rather take my share, spend it however I want, and live a normal life after the divorce. You want to run your own business? Fine, but do it without me, Laura declared. When Nicholas and Victor found out about the divorce, they sided with their father. We're staying with Dad. At least with him, we won't be forced to work those odd jobs anymore. Laura packed up her 3 younger daughters and moved back to her parents' house. It was a difficult time, but she remained determined to pursue her dream. Her younger sister stepped up, securing a loan from the bank to help Laura get the cleaning company off the ground. The cleaning service quickly gained traction. Laura kept her prices fair, ensuring a steady flow of happy customers who recommended her services to their friends and family. Meanwhile, Michael quickly burned through half of Laura's savings. His own paycheck barely covered the basics. He increasingly brought up the idea of their sons returning to the old routine of distributing flyers. Maybe we should talk to the boys about doing those odd jobs again. My salary barely covers anything. I can't believe Laura could make that money last a whole month. After bills and groceries, I'm left with practically nothing, he lamented. Despite his earlier dismissal of Laura's dream, Michael attempted to patch things up. One day, he called, offering a begrudging acknowledgement of her success. I gotta admit, Laura, you've built something impressive with that cleaning service. I'm surprised. Wish I'd believed in you more. He paused for a beat. That being said, maybe we could give things another shot. The divorce isn't finalized yet. Technically, we're still married, and we have 5 kids together. Struggling to make ends meet with just 2 kids, are we? Laura countered, a hint of amusement in her voice. Let's just say it's been an adjustment, Michael sighed. Frankly, I'm starting to understand how you stretched that money so far all those years. Well, when you have to, you get resourceful, Laura replied. But reconciliation isn't happening just yet, Mike. And honestly, I can't guarantee it ever will. You didn't have faith in me, and because of that, I had to take on debt to make this dream a reality. If you hadn't demanded half the savings. Her voice trailed off. Look, I have work to do. We'll talk another time. She ended the call firmly. Michael hung up, the weight of his own choices settling on him. He knew Laura's strong personality meant he had a long road ahead if he wanted to win her back. The older boys, unsurprisingly, sided with their mother when they learned of Michael's attempt at reconciliation. But Laura saw this as a chance to teach them a valuable lesson. She stopped giving Victor and Nicholas extra spending money, encouraging them to find ways to earn it themselves. Now settled in a spacious 3-bedroom rental with all 5 children under one roof again, Laura grappled with the question of reconciliation. Could she ever forgive Michael? And more importantly, did she even want to? I hope you enjoyed this story. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more awesome stories in the future. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey, and we'll see you next video.